What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be working on the three-piece wheels. For most of you who don't know, I recently picked up a set of three-piece wheels. They're Stern inner tourings. Supposedly it's a discontinued brand and company and all that. I got them for a killer deal, found them on Facebook Marketplace, and figured it was too good to pass up. They are a three-piece, so I recently got the face powder coated. This comes off much like how the rotiform over here does. It has the center locking ring that you just pretty much unscrew this. The lug nuts are all underneath this cover. And it all looks uniform. There is a little center cap that goes over these that I have to still put on. But I was waiting until all the powder coat fully cured and just making sure everything was 100%. But the only thing we were waiting on was the hardware, which we now finally have. The hardware I picked up from VR Wheels, and now we're ready to reassemble everything. I recently fully polished all of the lips, and I got one of the barrels had to be repaired just due to a very, very small crack. But other than getting that all repaired and everything right here, it's good as new and ready to be fully assembled back into a nice set of three-piece wheels. We're going to get into that today, getting these all bolted up, screwed together, and then using the caulk or sealant to make these all, one piece again. So, I have now gotten the hardware all taken out of the bag that it came in. And here's what we're left with. These are M7 nuts to match with our M7 bolts. Now, the M7 bolts are a very, very tight fit, as I'm sure they're supposed to be. But when you drop these in here, that you do kind of have to wiggle them to get them to go down. And I'm sure as we thread them and do everything, it'll all line up accordingly. But that's what we're left with. The little tiny collar that is on there right now, if I can get that to focus, you get it. There's a collar on the end of it, and the problem that I'm seeing is because I just had these faces powder coated, this nice kind of glittery silver or gray. As it gets down in there, the collar is just getting caught right towards the end. But it's an easy fix. We're just going to end up throwing the ratchet on there, and as we snug it down, it'll slowly sink itself down in further. It'll just be a little difficult the first time these go on. So I'm going to put this back in here so I don't lose any of them. And I think there's 40 each, so there should be a total of 160 of each of these. And we're pretty much ready to go here. I'm going to take all of the lips off of the wheels, which I believe these are all already separated except for one of them, so it must be this one. Yeah, so this one. And what we're going to do is I can show you on the lip of this one. As you can see, there is material here that is the original adhesive that the previous owner had on there. We're just going to take a Dremel, which I have right behind me here. I bought this kit right here at a local Harbor Freight, or you can get it at a Lowe's or anything like that. And it comes with all these little sanding wheels in here. So we're going to throw that in here, and we're just going to lightly go around and just do a little bit of sanding on the backside here to get any of this lip that's still on there off, and then that way we have an easy mating surface for when we put the adhesive on. And the same thing goes for the barrel section here. So let me quick put the camera down and just get right into that. So I tried using this little drill bit or sanding wheel on the Dremel. Unfortunately, it just doesn't do anything. As you can see right here on the wheel, it just isn't doing anything over here. This is the finished product of what I need, but this took me probably about 10 minutes just to get there, or 5-10 minutes just to get to that point. And honestly, it's just not worth it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try using an actual sander with an 80 grit thing of sandpaper, but just on an orbital sander to hopefully knock all that off. Ideally, we just want this whole surface all around here to look just like this, just all bare metal. So I'm going to go get the orbital sander now, throw 80 grit on it, and hopefully be, good to go. Okay, well, I have the 80 grit sandpaper on the orbital sander right now, and we're just going to get to sanding. Alrighty, so what I did was I switched sanders actually. I went with this one that I had in the garage. The other one, for some reason, my orange one, was just not spinning fast enough, or I guess it's on its way out, but it wasn't taking anything off whatsoever. So I switched over to this red sander, and it's gotten us to where we are now. It still looks like there's stuff on here, but there actually isn't. It's just the way the shadow is. I'm going to go over it a little bit more with the sander, just to get kind of like a once, final pass over. And then this face will be done, and we have 3 more faces to do, and 4 more barrels, and we're ready to assemble them. Let me get working on those others now, and I'll be right back with you. Now that we're all done everything as far as all of the lips on the wheels go, now we are on to the barrels. So the barrels have just about as much of this excess adhesive all around them the whole way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try using the wire wheel on these, just because it should hopefully take more of it off, but I still think the sander might be our go-to for everything. So I'm going to get working on that now and get all this scraped off of here and hopefully get them all ready to go back together. So I'm going to put the camera down and get right to that. Great news, we have the first barrel done. It is a very, very messy process getting all of this adhesive off of here, but as you can see, everything is now off and it's down to bare metal. So this is all ready for us to pretty much start putting the wheel together. As far as the rest goes, all of this up here doesn't matter because it just isn't anything other than just paint. But beyond that, I think we're ready to throw one of the faces on, and then once we throw the face on, we can, or throw the lip on, and then the face goes on top of it, and then we can get our nice new shiny hardware in here. But right before I do that, I just want to go and wipe this down with maybe a microfiber and some window cleaner, just so that it's all clean, and I'll wash up a little bit, just so we have a clean working area. But other than that, we are all ready to get this all assembled and get things going. So let me jump into that right now. Just wipe that down with the microfiber and rubbing alcohol, and now we are ready to grab one of our lips, one of our faces, and some hardware, 40 of these per wheel, and we will be set and ready to get started working on this. So I'm just going to set those there, and we will grab this top face, which we are also going to clean. I'm going to wipe this down with the same procedure as I did with that, glass cleaner, or window cleaner, whatever you want to call it, and then go over it with some rubbing alcohol. And I actually might put maybe a little bit of a sealant on here, or a wax, just to prolong the nice shine that we have after we, I already polished this and everything to fully clean it up. That way it kind of locks in some of that shine, and we don't have to worry about it, needing to be serviced all the time. Let me do that and grab our face. I know that there are very many different 3-piece wheels out there. The way mine go together is barrel, lip, and then the face sits on top. I think there's some that sandwich the face, so it goes barrel, face, lip. These are barrel, lip, face. So I'm going to put the face on this now, and I'll show you guys me getting all the hardware in place. One thing you need to be sure is, here is your valve stem. You always want to make sure you line that up, and as you can see, all the holes line up accordingly the whole way around, so that way everything sits in place where it's supposed to go. So next thing's next, I'm going to grab the hardware, which I have actually behind me here. Counted all the hardware out, put 40 in a pile, and I'm going to do that with all the rest. Just put piles of 40 to make sure I have all the hardware I need. And we're just going to get started on putting all of this hardware through. And, you know, just do that around the whole perimeter of everything. That way we can get the nuts screwed in place. Now, as you can see, we have all of the hardware fully in around the whole perimeter of the wheel. And everything's looking great. Everything's fitting very, very well. All that's left now is pretty much I'm going to take my 8mm 12-point ratchet and I'm just gonna put it on them and just rotate them some so that they sit a little bit deeper in there. Because this was powder coated, there is a tiny bit of powder coat still in the holes of it, but I'm just gonna pretty much push that through upon, you know, when the screw slowly goes down. And on the back side, when I have them seated a little bit more, I'm gonna flip it over, keeping my hand on the face of it. And I'm going to start putting all of the nuts on the back. That way, you know, we can start pretty much tightening this all the way down. Now you want to be sure as you put these bolts in, I didn't go around the whole perimeter. I went, just like how you would tighten lug nuts. I went from here, over to here, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, kind of in a star pattern. Just going all around the whole outside of it until I filled all of it. And that's what, you know, that's where we are now. It is time consuming, but it just makes everything go in smoother and it keeps you from possibly nicking your powder coat or anything like that. Alright everyone, so I got all of the hardware fully installed and all the bolts or nuts on the back are all tightened the whole way around. Everything is on and all torqued down. All that's left now is to run the sealant along the whole edge here. Now, I am going to wait to do that until I, what's it called? I'm gonna wait to do that until I do all the other ones. So, get all these fully assembled, and after that, all we have left to do then is just put the sealant on and it'll be all done and ready to run these wheels. So let me get the rest of these all done. I'm not going to show doing these because it's the same exact process as doing that. But let me get these done and I'll come back with you guys. Good morning everyone. It's another day. It's actually a new day. And we're working on the 3-piece wheels again. Today I have all the hardware fully in, all the nuts on and torqued down or tightened down fully. Now all that's left, since now all of them are fully assembled, all that we have left to do is go and use our caulk and fully go around and seal this wheel up. Now I went around and put some blue painter's tape on here and left just about a finger's width gap, just so that you know, there's plenty of area for it to seal. Now my valve stem's here, so I'm just going to put a little tape line there. That way everything seals properly. So let me go through and get my caulk gun ready. But before that I'm going to tape up the rest of these ones here. That way they're all ready to just get caulk and get all sealed up. Now that I have all the wheels fully taped up and ready to go, what we're going to do is, this is the caulk that I got. It's a silicone sealant, pretty much. If we look here, it is freeze-proof, weatherproof, flexible, everything like that. This is, I guess, GE brand. And here's the color. I got this color so you can see it a little easier as I'm putting it on. They do make this in clear and a bunch of other colors, such as black. I just figured this color, kind of like a sandstone color, would just be easiest to see on the color wheel I have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this all loaded up in here, cut off the end of it, and get to caulking. I'm going to go get a glove, because once we start to apply it, we're pretty much just going to take our hand and we're going to use our finger to smooth it in there. But right before I apply it, I'm going to apply, I'm going to grab a clean microfiber and use some rubbing alcohol and just clean the surface one last time before we seal it up. So let me go get a glove and get started on that now. Now that I have you guys set up on the tripod, I have gloves on to just stay clean with everything, and I am going to fully wipe this down with 70% rubbing alcohol. Once I rub the, wipe this down with rubbing alcohol, I will get the caulk gun fully loaded, and we'll get going around this perimeter here. So let me get this wiped down and get ready with the caulk gun. Now that this is fully wiped down, what I have now is I have the silicone inside of the caulk gun. All you do is pull this lever back, slide the caulk in, and it clicks in. Now what we're going to do is I have scissors and I'm just going to cut the end of this off. You don't want to cut too much of it off so that you have a smaller passageway for it to come through, so it's a little more controllable. So let me get this cut off right now. Got the caulk gun ready. I popped the flap in the back of it so that it's ready for use. And now we're just going to go around the perimeter and just get some on there. So here we go. Now I'm not too sure how heavy to go at this, so I mean, I hope I'm getting the right amount on here, but I guess we'll find out. As you can see with my left hand, I'm just slowly rotating it while I just slightly apply pressure with the caulk gun. And now coming up on the, stem there, I'm going to come back with that and deal with that with my fingers. Just make sure you have a towel that you can, wipe that off on. And here comes the fun part, where we just take our finger and we just lightly apply pressure and rotate. Just like that, we have a fully caulked and ready, or fully sealed wheel at this point. As you can see, there are some heavy sections like right there. I'm going to wait about 2 minutes or 3 minutes and take the tape off, and that way everything is all set and ready. But let me get going on the other wheel over here, and I'll get started on that one and that one while I wait for this to cure. Great news, everyone, I got everything fully sealed up, and all of these as well. All I'm waiting for is it just to get a little bit drier, and then I'm going to pull this tape off. Once I pull the tape off, that's it. These are fully done, fully ready to be used. I mean, I just got to go get tires mounted on them. Then that's really it. Other than that, these are fully finished. You can see, obviously, not, nothing amazing, but you're never going to see it. It just needs to simply hold the, air from getting out from between there and your tire. So let me pull this tape off and we'll be done. Well, everybody, that has been how to fully build or assemble a set of 3-piece wheels. You can see we have all of the sealant properly laid on all of these wheels. Other than that, these are finished. It's just time to go get tires on them and figure out something about a center cap, but that's all pretty straightforward. Center cap's just a stick-on little piece of like a sticker, and tires are just normal mount and balance. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I plan to, keep making videos like this. Hopefully these are helping anyone who's a DIYer or anyone at home who's just interested in following along with the process. These will more than likely be for sale. They do fit on my car, but they're not entirely my specs. I just found them and they were a good deal, so I had to jump on them. It gave me a great opportunity to learn how to build my first ever set of 3-piece wheels. So if anyone's interested in these, feel free to reach out. I'll have information, specs, everything down in the description box below. But as usual, make sure you like, share, subscribe, everything, and enjoy.